working on Excel multi-project number 1 in GMetrix. Currently we're on project 7 called FusionTomo. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and go to the employee bonuses tab, and it's going to have us copy the formula in H4 all the way down to the bottom. So we'll select that cell, and we're down here, you see that green little square. We're going to put our cursor right on top so we get the black cross, and then from there we can just click and drag down. It goes ahead and populates that formula all the way through. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and go to G4, and this is not easy what we're about to do. This is probably the hardest thing in this entire multi-project. We're going to go ahead and insert a formula. Specifically, it doesn't tell us, but we're going to add the sum if formula. So with our cursor selected, we're going to go ahead and click Insert Function, and we'll type up here sum if, click Go, and it gives us all of those. Make sure you select sum if. We'll double click. Our range is going to be B4 to D4, and because the parts, accessories, and services. Our criteria is anything that's greater than 100,000. And again, we're going B4 to D4. Now the reason we selected greater than 100,000 is because this is our quarterly goal down here, and I'm messing up this formula, but I wanted you to see the quarterly goal. And then we're going to click OK. Now we're not done. We also need to go ahead and, if it exceeds that, we want to multiply it by the quarterly bonus rate at 2%. So what we need to do is to go back. We're still in G4, and we're going to go to the formula bar up here, and we're going to go ahead and actually type this time. We're going to go ahead and do the multiply, and then we're going to click a $sign, B $17. If you look down here, it highlights that cell. We'll go ahead and click enter. Now you might be saying, Mr. Sinclair, why did you have me put in $signs before the B and the 17? And the reason is this is what we want to be an absolute reference, and what that does is it locks the cell so that cell, no matter where I drag it, will always reference this cell. If I did not put those $signs in, when I clicked and dragged down, it would look to the next cell when I dragged it to G5 and then keep going down. Well, there's no data here, which will mess it up, and this is the only number we wanted to look at. So it's a lot there. That's probably the hardest thing in this entire multi-project, but we'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to stay on the employee bonuses worksheet and remove the row containing the salesperson Alan. Very easy to do. We'll go ahead and select 11. And to select that entire row, we'll right click and just click delete, and it goes ahead and removes that. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and, still on the employee bonuses worksheet, disable the headings in the rates table. So we'll go ahead and click our cursor inside this table to bring up the tables tools design. And from here, we're just going to uncheck the header row to make that disappear. We'll click Mark Completed. And task 5 asks us to go to F4 on the parts. So we're changing worksheets here, and we're in F4, and it asks us to insert a line that graphs the trend of sales from January through March. So with F4 selected, we're going to click Insert, and we're going to go to the spark lines here, and we're going to click Line, and it asks us to select our range. So we just want January, February, and March. Make sure not to select the totals, and we'll click OK. Click Mark Completed.